Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. So continuing on with my CitizenCon series, let us take a look at the updates coming to the new Lorville city. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for the support, it is truly appreciated, and if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Now, the Lorville city was the very first planetary landing zone, and after building more and more landing zones like New Babbage, Orison, and Area 18, they gained more experience and built up a bigger knowledge base on how they can create cities better. This Redux kicked off with the reconcepting of the Lorville landing zone, which began with a variety of black and white sketches just to show the different approaches for the city as well as the side silhouettes for the buildings. They also kept in mind while building this that they want to have many interior areas available for gameplay reasons, plus just make the city much bigger. Now, once the sketching process was done, they moved on to the city footprint to determine scale and establish other areas, with the goal being to stay with the bigger picture and making sure that the skyline makes sense rather than all of the finer details, and I will say that the concept art looks phenomenal. So they started by evaluating what needed to be done and began extending it to make it a much bigger city than the original Lorville. They are keeping the L-19 residences, the CDB building and spaceport while building upon and extending the city. They did do a number of tests with the transit rail system to extend that out a bit more, and they are keeping the same number of gates but are moving them further out. Now, they say that the new city will feel more like a believable city that should be more fun to fly around and even race around, as they are building more arched buildings, bridges and underpasses, and it was also mentioned that in regards to no-fly zones, it sounds like they're moving away from these for Lorville, much like we see with New Babbage, and just allow us to fly anywhere we want, so keeping the artificial restrictions to a minimum. Now, there will be several areas with higher levels of detail, with landing pads and rooftops to go to, which later on, as they say, will be where players will find building interiors with gameplay. Now, what is quite interesting about this Lorville 2.0 city is that it's just passed its grey box review gate, which means that it's now in the final art phase. There is still a few hurdles to get over, but they say it's coming along very well. Now, personally, I am loving that they are now going back over these cities to further expand them. Lorville is a very cool location, and once it's fleshed out fully, will be even more impressive. It has been said in the past that CIG want to provide enough content to locations like cities to keep players there for long periods of time, without feeling the need to just fly away in search of gameplay, and this certainly sounds like they're setting up Lorville to be more full with gameplay, as they did say that they are getting Lorville ready for when the interior spaces come along. And with these interior spaces, they will provide locations for missions like delivery missions, assassination missions, repairing missions even, and so on and so forth. Now, what I would personally love to see with the majority of cities, not all of them, I realise this, but are roads connecting these various districts together so that we can drive from one to another. Player housing would be a cool addition one day. I realise it's probably a little early for that yet, but being able to own property. I'd also love to see that shantytown settlement on the outside of the wall get populated, but also just a vast population of NPCs within the city walls going about doing their day-to-day business. When that comes along, all cities, I'm sure, are going to feel so much better, and over time they will continue to retouch upon the various landing zones and making them all the best that they can be. So a great insight into what Lorville is becoming, and I look forward to checking out more as they continue fleshing it out. But anyway, I will continue to break down these CitizenCon panels into their individual videos, covering everything that we saw. But with that said, if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing. Also, come and hang out over at twitch.tv/supermacbrother. You are all more than welcome. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.